Uhuru, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Beyond the Boundaries, the show where we bring you news from the African nation and the international socialist movement. My name is Alex Morley. I am the chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, Bahamas, and I head up the front for the African Socialist International for the Caribbean and the South American region. Uhuru, brothers and sisters, welcome to Beyond the Boundaries. Today is Sunday, September 29th. 2019. We're going to be here every Sunday at 1 p.m. at on Beyond the Boundaries. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to get straight into it. The first story is from the Africans United Coalition. It says, as part of the Take It to the People campaign, the Africans United Coalition is hosting a community movie night at the Calvary Baptist Church on Centerville off Collins Avenue on Saturday, October 5th, 2019, from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Food and drinks will be provided. The objectives of the campaign are to provide relief, food and supplies, and secondly, to provide entertainment and recreation, and thirdly, to provide a space for people to assist in the relief process. The Africans United Coalition will be showing the movie I Love You Anne. It's a comedy slash romance. Came out in 2003. Uh, According to a small snippet that I got online about it, it says that Anne falls in love with Dan Cato, the reggae singer with dreadlocks. Tonton Beecher, her eccentric father, opposes. He will do anything to break the relationship while he favors Jude, the handsome but obscure entrepreneur. It's starring Daniel Fields, Amy, uh, Nice, Simon, and Antonio Chiremi. It's a very popular movie according to the reviews that I'm seeing. I want to say thank you to Comrade Elikia from the African People's Socialist Party in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Brother Professor Burton Lewis, who is based in Kentucky. Those are the persons who recommended the movie to us. So thank you very much. So the movie we'll be showing is I Love You Anne. I've never watched the movie, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Please also note, brothers and sisters, that this movie night is the first event in the series of events that the African United Coalition will be hosting at different shelters. We do planning a movie night, an art show, a community concert, and a community sports day. There's a brief little small note. The venue for the art show that's scheduled for the beginning part of November will have to be changed because the persons who are at the Marquis Street on at the Salvation Army on Marquis Street, the 27 persons who were there, those persons are no longer there. This week, those persons were relocated. I believe that they were relocated to the All Saints Church in East Street South. I believe I'm familiar with where that church is. Big up to the south, West Palm Town, Pinewood. You know how that go. Uh, so I just need to kind of clarify, verify what's the position with that. But that's something that came up this week, brothers and sisters, in terms of the art show. But the community concert that's scheduled, that's in December. That's in Fox Hill. So, brothers and sisters, just stay tuned for more information that's coming up. But the community movie night, that's this Saturday at the Centerville Baptist Church off Collins Avenue, Centerville off Collins Avenue. The Africans United Coalition will be providing entertainment, food, and drinks to the persons there, and we are inviting members of the public to attend, to use this as an opportunity to bring whatever form of help they are able to give. And when we say bring whatever form of help, you'll be giving it to the church, and the church can do what I'm sure it will do, carrying out the work that it's doing. Uh, we ordered a limited number of tables But if there are organizations or persons who want to bring some form of relief, just contact the coalition and we can provide the table and the chairs needed. So just contact us on the numbers on the flyers. If there's an organization or persons out there who want to provide some kind of relief, and we'll make sure there's a certain amount of tables. We have a certain amount of tables for the food and the drinks that we're provided, but let us know. This community movie night is on Saturday, October 5th, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Calvary Baptist Church, Centerville, off Collins Avenue. So that's this Saturday, brothers and sisters. We're showing the movie I Love You and that's the Africans United Coalition. That's the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. That's the host of Rastafari. That's the Nyabingi. That's the Coptic Church. Brother Roll, different members, individuals. So come out to that movie night, brothers and sisters. The second story that I want to talk about is actually on theburningspare.com. It talks about Chairman Omali Yeshitela headlines the 5th annual Philadelphia One Africa, One Nation Uhuru Book Fair and Flea Market. It says the African People's Education and Defense Fund in Philadelphia, the hub of the African People's Socialist Party in the northern region, sponsored the 5th annual Uhuru Book Fair in West Philadelphia's beautiful Clark Park at 43rd and Chess Avenue last weekend. This lively community education and economic development festival included vendors with handmade African art, clothing, jewelry, natural beauty products, food, and also books, bicycles, and deeply discounted used items of all types. The all-day program featured keynote speaker, Uhuru Movement founder and leader Chairman Omali Yeshitela as part of his international tour with his latest book, Vanguard, the Advanced Detachment of the African Revolution. Chairman Omali signed books and he presented on the African internationalist analysis of the crisis of world imperialism today and the revolutionary strategy for the liberation led by the African working class. The program included African authors, publishers, poets, drummers, musicians, and grassroots community organizers with free education resources and information. Presenters included the president of the African National Women's Organization, ANYO, that's Yesterday Oren-Mila, the chairman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, Comrade Penny Hess, percussionist Karen Smith, jazz vocalist Renda Farrington, DJ Teddy Valentine, and many other speakers and performers. The Uhuru movement first sent community organizers to Philadelphia in 1986, led by the late revolutionary leader Omowali Kefing, under the slogan, "Reinforcements are on the way," to build a political response to the city of Philadelphia's bombing of the MOVE organization, the murder of 11 African children, women, and men, and the deliberate burning and destruction of over 60 houses in an African working class neighborhood in West Philadelphia, only 20 blocks from the festival. No city official was ever sanctioned or imprisoned for this act of U.S. government terrorism, which has been practically erased from history. Thousands of newer and younger residents have never even heard about it. In 1978, the notorious Philadelphia Police Department surrounded MOVE's house and shot over 10,000 rounds into the building, and one police officer was shot in the head. One police officer shot another police officer in the back of the head. They framed and imprisoned 9 members of the MOVE organization. Janet, Janine, and Eddie Africa, 3 of the surviving members of the MOVE 9, who each served over 40 years in prison and were finally released this year, spoke at the Uhuru Book Fair. Hip-hop artist Mike Africa Jr. performed his original music at the book fair. Mike Jr. was born in prison, the son of Mike Sr. and Debbie Africa, also members of the framed MOVE 9. Now in his 40s, The first time Mike saw his parents outside of prison was in 2018. The Uhuru Book Fair is necessary in Philadelphia, a majority African city where only 4.5% of teachers are black men. One out of every five black boys has been suspended from school, and African and Puerto Rican children are over 70% of the young people who get arrested, and less than 40% of Philadelphia's population has even a high school diploma. Uhuru Book Fair Coordinator and APSP Northern Regional Representative Nana Ya Grant stated, "The Uhuru Book Fair gives everyone an opportunity to be a part of the solution to the colonial conditions our people face, where young black children attend schools that are hostile to our community in crumbling, lead contaminated buildings with no running water." The city closed over 30 black neighborhood schools that are now being gentrified into unaffordable condominiums. For profit charter schools provide an even worse education than public schools. Our children thrive on love and respect, but there's a climate of punishment and regimentation with no interaction, no art or music, and very limited access and very limited recess. Textbooks and equipment are antiquated or non existent. About 40% of the public school budget goes to so called security, the armed police who terrorize our children. Black children are blamed and criminalized, while it has consistently been white children who shoot up the schools. Our goal is to control our own schools and educate our own children. This festival carries on the legacy of Marcus Garvey and the vision of Chairman Omali Yeshitela to organize our own economic and cultural hubs for African self-determination. As Chairman Omali says in the Vanguard, the victory of our people will come as a consequence of our success in transforming every colonized African community into a conscious, active opponent of colonialism. We will take organization and ideological development to the heart of the African working class communities where the colonial contradictions are concentrated. The One Africa, One Nation Uhuru Book Fair and Flea Market is just one of over 50 dual and contending power institutions the Uhuru movement leads to transform the lives of our people. This is how we create the new socialist world, where the schools nourish the genius of our children. This is how we grow the dual and contending power economy that works in our interests to feed, clothe, and house our people. This is how we end the deadly dependency imposed on the African community by white power colonialism. This is how we organize to push back gentrification and build programs for education, health, and economic development led and controlled by the African working class community. Brothers and sisters, going to burningspear.com is a good story. Check it out. Philadelphia. Big up, respect out to the brothers and sisters, Philadelphia, and all the brothers and sisters in the party who are doing work in Philadelphia. The next story, brothers and sisters, is from the blackagendareport.com. It's a story, not one of the recent stories on Black Agenda, and I would ask you to go on Black Agenda and check out. There's a couple of articles that you check out of the recent ones, but this one was about a week ago. It's entitled Operation Brown Nose: U.S. Aids French Dirty Work in Africa, and it's by Mark P. Fancher. And it says 2 years ago, 4 U.S. soldiers deployed in Niger were ambushed and killed. The black soldier, La David Johnson, was recently awarded a posthumous Silver Star Medal. However, when the news of the killings reached U.S. shores in 2017, it set off a storm of controversy. Several senators candidly admitted that they had no idea hundreds of U.S. troops were in Niger. To this day, there is widespread skepticism about official explanations that the soldiers were engaged in anti-terrorist operations. The machinery that governs imperialism has no off switch. This is perhaps most evident in Africa, where, regardless of dozens of events that should have led to the interruption, if not cessation, of U.S. military operations on the continent, the presence of U.S. military expands. Niger is a case in point. Given the public anger about the loss of soldiers' lives, the absence of the public's commitment to an undefined mission in Niger, and President Donald Trump's general distaste for overseas military adventures, the U.S. program in Niger should have been shelved long ago. However, last month, news arrived that not only is there construction of a major U.S. Air Force base on the way, but also a decision to expand. A decision to expand. It has been made even before it opens. The environmental magazine Down to Earth reports 3 out of 4 light bulbs in France are illuminated through Nigerian uranium. For more than 40 years, the French company Areva has mined uranium in Niger for French consumers and established extensive operations in the Nigerian town of Eilit to make it all happen. In 2013, France began to fear attacks on these facilities and they deployed troops to protect them. Brothers and sisters, I would recommend that brothers and sisters go on the Black Agenda Report and read that story. It's about U.S. imperialism, African people and our resources, Niger, uranium. 3 out of 4 light bulbs in France are illuminated through Nigerian uranium. Brothers and sisters, these are the kind of things that we also need to be illuminated when we talk about climate change and when we talk about the environment and resources. And it needs to be said where the areas where where capitalism affects has a negative effect on the people and the resources and all of these things need to be brought into discussion when we talk about climate change. Because at the end of the day, imperialism has to come to an end, and African people and other brown people in the world, them getting control of their resources and where they live and trying to build a better quality of life for themselves. That has to be taken into consideration. But go on the Black Agenda Report and read Mark P. Funch's story. It's U.S. aids French dirty work in Africa. Brothers and sisters, there's another story that I would ask you to read. I would say there's a story I recommend that brothers read a couple of stories that I want to recommend persons to read. There's a story on Black Agenda Report, drop the term austerity. It's the race to the bottom. Is a story by Glenn Ford, the editor for the Black Agenda Report. It's basically about UAW and the workers, but just how capitalism puts workers in a position that it's trying to squeeze every dime, every labor power, or every value out of the worker. And one of the ways it does this in these negotiation process, it uses healthcare, the removal of healthcare. So just go on Black Agenda Report, check out, drop the term austerity. It's the race to the bottom. It's a story from Black Agenda Report editor Glenn Ford. Also check out brothers and sisters counterpunch.org. a story from Amazon versus Socialists in Seattle. Story by Shama Sawant. Amazon versus Socialists in Seattle. Basically, a story about how the progressives in this locale in Seattle, how the progressives are trying to battle the big finance capital, the big money man in this city. So check that story out. That's an interesting story. And there's another story on Counterpunch too, brothers and sisters. Counterpunch.org. There's a story called. This story came out about 2 weeks ago. The title of the story is the the uh, the ultra costly, underwhelming F-35 fighter by William Astor, and he's a retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Air Force, and it's basically about how the U.S. government, Pentagon, is spending 1.5 is going to plans to spend 1.5 trillion dollars. That happens to be the estimated cost of the Pentagon's program to build, deploy, and maintain the no longer so new F-35 jet fighter over its lifetime. $1.5 trillion. And he asks William Astor, the lieutenant colonel from the United States Air Force, the retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Air Force. He asks in this story, how can any people invest so much technology whose fundamental purpose is dominance through destruction, and which reportedly doesn't even work particularly well. So, just go on to counterpunch.org and read that story, brothers and sisters. It's a good story from a retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Air Force, William Astor. 1.5. As soon as I saw that story, that report, I wanted to do it a couple of weeks ago when it came out because I couldn't get my that 1.5 trillion. The fact that they would spend 1.5 trillion dollars to build and maintain a jet fighter plane is unbelievable in a world where millions of people are dying. Who go to bed without food, uh, hunger, disease. But brothers and sisters, we gotta fight. We gotta destroy capitalism. We gotta build a new world. We gotta build a socialist world. Uh, but go on counterpunch.org and check out that story. Brothers and sisters, for community announcements, brothers and sisters, I want to say congratulations to all the brothers in Chicago, in the Midwest, in Chicago, in St. Louis, for being that's the Midwest region, for being the top region for the Burning Spear. That's the newspaper, the publication of the African People's Socialist Party. So you hooroo to those brothers and sisters for that region for being for the top sellers, and you hooroo to brother Kaleem Reed from Greenville, South Carolina, to brother Kaleem Reed from Greenville, South Carolina, for being the number one Burning Spear seller, so top seller. So you hooroo to brother Kaleem Reed. Go on to burningspear.com, see our brother Kaleem Reed, see what he has to say. But you hooroo, brother, that's the type of revolutionary commitment that we need. You hooroo. From the art and culture world, brothers and sisters, no music, no vote. No music, no vote. I definitely support that. Put this on YouTube. I definitely support all of the sound system culture in Jamaica who are trying to organize to make sure that their concerns are heard. So definitely no music, no vote. We should have enough spaces in these Caribbean countries where our people can develop themselves, and that whether that be music, art, dance, drama, education, panel discussions, anything what the people want to do to nourish themselves. The space I think we have the space. I think it's just about organizing ourselves in the right way to make sure that's done. But Uhuru, no music, no vote. No music, no vote. I definitely down with that. You know, Uhuru um, to all the brothers and sisters out there in the sound system world. You know what I mean? I trying to remember Trooper for the hype. Oh, everybody in that world, man. You know, the Bahamas has always been a big sound clash supporter, supporter of the sound clash culture. Respect to the White House movement. That's my brethren. That's my boy Adrian. That's his crew. That's his sound system crew. So brothers and sisters, no music, no vote. Big up to that. Tay Rock voices, Geechee, Gotti. You know, I get with rock, man. I get with rock. But I would say Geechee Gotti, that Nipsey Hustle condolences video song was, you know what I mean? That was it. That was a serious one. So definitely, so both of them win at the end of the day. But again, rock. But Geechee Gotti and that Nipsey Hussle condolences tribute song, that was a good song too. Uh, Sports brothers and sisters. Errol Spence win. It was a serious fight though. It was a serious fight. Serious fight. It was a real sluggo, like one of them classic sluggos, you know what I mean? Heigler versus Hearns. I don't think Heigler and Hearns gone far, but just those the moments in those rounds was back and forth, you know what I mean? And that was definitely that Spence was versus Porter was definitely a slug out, but at the end of the day, Spence won. But I think it would both of them showed themselves to be great fighters. Last thing I would say from the sports world, I would say a small story out there too for Kalisha Saunders. From the stories from the Nassau Guardian, says that the administrative staff and over 800 students at the Elva Hilton Primary School gave recognition to the accomplishments of one of the school's family members, fifth grade student Kalisha Saunders, on Friday, September 20th. Saunders is a judoist who knows her way around the competition mat. Saunders competed in the 31st annual U.S. Open Judo Championships on August 26 to the 28th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. She won a gold medal in the under 9 32 kilogram category. This young judoist went on to win a bronze medal in the female under 11 37 category 37 kilogram category, a weight above her class, becoming the first Bahamian to win two medals in the U.S. Judo Championships and the only athlete out of 32 countries to secure two medals at the competition. Her international judo her international judo competitions this summer climaxed in Atlanta, Georgia on August 1st to the 3rd, where she won a gold and silver medal in the American Traditional Jiu-Jitsu Association and American Judo and Jiu-Jitsu Federation competition. Saunders trains at the Eastwood Judo Club under the tutelage of Sensei Neville Mickey Munnins. So definitely congratulations out there to Kalisha Saunders, the young judoist. Ich ni san shi go rock sich hatch kuju. Y'all Rick McKinney. Fine with guidance. Yeah, y'all ain't know about that. But Uhuru brothers and sisters, the sensei Rick McKinney. But Uhuru brothers and sisters, thank you for being on beyond the boundaries. Thank you for taking part in the show. I'm going to be here next week, same time, Sunday at 1 p.m., where we bring you news and information from the African nation and from the International Socialist Movement. Uhuru to all of the members in the Africans United Coalition. That's the EABIC, the Coptic Church, the Nyabingi House, all the individuals who support us everybody, all the organizations for the work that you're doing. The brother, the Nyabingi host in the southern region, the brothers in Grand Bahama, the Nyabingi in Grand Bahama, Uhuru, you know the men, Rastafari, one Africa, one nation. So brothers and sisters, thank you for watching Beyond the Boundaries with Alex Morley, and I'm gonna be here next week at 1 p.m. Uhuru.